Today we're interviewing one of the #1 fighters and instructors here at American Top Team, Manuel, and we have our roving reporter Joe Miller for W Fighter on the scene.
Information in here, so why don't you give me your record and what you've been fighting at?
My record is 8-3-2. Right now I don't have any fights right now. I fought in Japan, WC, and Bellator, a couple of different places around the world too. And that's mainly where I've been fighting: Japan, WC, Bellator, other parts of the world. Costa Rica, Tijuana, Mexico. I tried to, but got put out to Tijuana. So, but other than that, that's mostly around the States.
Nice.
True. So we had a lot of amateur fighters follow the website. I know a lot of amateur fighters follow it because of me too, because I got an amateur Muay Thai team or whatever. And I know you had like a good amateur experience. So I know you had some Muay Thai fights and amateur and whatnot. I actually fought my trainer one time at BCC Army Auditorium. How many amateur fights did you have?
I actually only had 3 amateur fights.
Yeah.
I had that one with the trainer. That was only Thai boxing one I had. And then I had 2 amateur MMA, but like at the time it wasn't like considered amateur. It was kind of like it wasn't pro, but it was more like exhibition. Basically, same thing, same rules, same everything, same contact, but it wasn't getting paid.
You could knee to the face and stuff?
Yeah, everything. It just wasn't getting paid. So they didn't have like an amateur circuit when I was fighting amateurs. So.
True. You know about the amateur rules now?
About the amateur rules, I know that on the ground you can't hit the head. It's kind of like old school ring Japan rules where stand up is everything, and then like out you can't knee the face.
Yeah. And
then on the ground, it's basically groundwork, but you can punch to the body.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I think it's good, but I think that they should take away the headgear, and
they do headgear?
They have the MMA they don't have the headgear, but they have shin guards.
Yeah.
But I mean it's okay, and especially for amateur, and it also depends on who wants to fight. A lot of people want to fight amateur, they have certain jobs, that they can't walk in, with bloody noses and all messed up and stuff like that. Sure. But I still think it's the same contact. So if you're gonna fight, then might as well, just take off all the headgear and shin guards.
Yeah, actually. But so from the perspective of an amateur fighter, what do you think? Because I know you've been fighting pro for a while now, or whatever. How do you think the best way to come from amateur to go pro would be?
To tell you the truth, I mean, it's
like, how do you prepare yourself the best?
As long as if you train professionally, then it shouldn't matter. If you train hard, it shouldn't matter. I know a lot of pro fighters, that have the same level as an amateur fighter, or vice versa. So I think it depends on how you train, and how you think of things mentally. I don't think that. To tell you the truth, I don't think there's much difference besides not getting paid.
Yeah, true that.
If you have headgear and other types of protection, that's really what makes a difference. And besides that, it's not on the record. But other than that, I think it's all the same. To tell you the truth, you're still getting the same punishment or anything.
How do you get mentally prepared?
I mean, I just go in there, try to just do my job, trying to finish the fight, always trying to finish, always try to stay on top.
Anything you do, like in the gym, I know guys in Tallahassee where I did most of my MMA training. They'll stand in the ring and they'll practice their celebrations and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's the thing about the fighting is I would say the way I think of it, 80% is like the media and the things that you do preparing for the fight. Promotion, things like that, and then another 10% is training, and then the last 2% is actually fighting.
Yeah.
So that other stuff, and most of that is fought with a pen and with microphones. So you disregard that. As far as the fight in general, which is the amateur fighters don't actually have to worry so much about that. Just worry about the fight. Just do what you do in sparring. Just always doing live. Prepare yourself for everything. Fight tough guys if you can.
Fight where someone was just completely big challenge like that? How'd you deal with that?
That was my fight in Japan.
Oh yeah?
That was my fight in Japan. I fought Yoki Hatsu, or Hatsuyoki, whatever you want to say his name. It was funny because in the weigh-ins, he was almost like my height, but a little bit taller, and then in the fight he was like this high. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that happens when you cut weight or rehydrate that your height gets bigger. I don't know. But he looks so much bigger than me. But that was as far as height, that was probably the tallest guy that I've ever fought. Maybe your trainer.
Yeah.
I think maybe one more person. one more person maybe I fought in Jacksonville. I think he's a little bit taller than me. But other than that, I haven't fought too many tall guys. I'm pretty, maybe in 145, 143 taller. Yeah. 135, I think like I'm pretty tall as far as 135ers. You know, I know some people that are a little bit taller, but you know, I'm not the shortest person I've known in 135.
Yeah,
I know a lot of 35s that could probably go to 25.
Yeah, you know, just because of their height.
Yeah, just because of their height and how they're built.
In your career right now as a fighter, what do you think is next for you, or what do you want to try to go for next? Especially considering the recent merger between the WEC and the UFC.
Well, for me, I mean, it's a toss-up, you know, because right now I'm looking for, you know, I'm trying to look for different managers, you know, trying to see if I can get more fights, you know. I feel like for my age and for the time I've been training, I don't have as many fights as I should. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to focus on that, trying to get as many fights locally or travel as much as I can. And later on, of course, later on, if I have the chance to fight in the UFC, you know, since they're going to merge, you know, then that'd be great. But right now, I'm trying to stay focused on staying busy and not trying to get caught up in one contract, you know, or if I get in a contract, try to make like an open contract, like, you know, like Bellator has, you know, where you're only exclusive for the States. The same thing the Strikers has, you know, and then like maybe I can find other parts of the countries, different countries. So that's what I'm focused on right now, trying to stay busy and not get locked down right now. Later on, when I get older, and then I'm gonna start trying to go into UFC and try to slow down my pace a little bit more, you know, where my body can, you know, can't afford to go every month or 2 months. So that's what I'm doing, try to stay busy right now.
Very cool, man. Very cool. First of all, I know you're one of the busiest trainers here. You teach, it seems to me, every day. You know, here at ATT, black belt in jiu-jitsu, you teach, you know, multiple classes. I see you helping people with their sparring as a practice partner and instructor. I mean, I guess my question to you would be, you know, within all of that, your game, you know, what part of the fight game do you think defines you as a fighter? You know, as far as where do you think your most natural, most fundamental abilities lie?
That varies, you know, cause like when you train MMA, depending on what base you started with, and you merge into MMA, when you start being a more well-rounded fighter, you know, it's kind of hard to tell. You can kind of see where, you know, if things go wrong, you're gonna kind of see what the person goes to. It's basically, you know, what he's used to, you know, what he's more comfortable at. You know, I started with you know, grappling with jiu-jitsu, you know, so if you know, a lot of times I try to start grappling, if anything, you know, but I can strike too. So it's, you know, it's
yeah.
You know?
Joe, can he strike, Joe?
Yeah.
Can he strike, Joe?
He can strike.
This is from about, what, 30 minutes ago? It hasn't even had a chance to get black and blue yet.
But like in the fight, you know, it depends. You know, it depends on the fighter. You know, you kind of gotta feel somebody out, because you never know, you know, what they're gonna go for. Even if they start with striking, or they start with grappling, or if they, you know, incorporated everything from the beginning. You know, so you gotta kind of feel the person out, and the later round go, that's also when you're gonna see more what the person's used to. You know, especially when the sweat comes in, and it's gonna be a lot harder to go for submissions, a lot harder to take somebody down. You know, then you're gonna really see how somebody reacts. You know, especially when they get hit in the face.
Absolutely, that's
Getting
hit in the face. That's the true test. All right, well, viewers, that's it for our interview with Chris Manuel here at American Top Team. He's one of their most experienced and most appreciated trainers and fighters. From Sam Jones and Joe Miller, peace out.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.